let me talk. I'm a time bomb that's waiting to go off. Quite nuclear, amazing what fame could do to you. Too peculiar, although I'm truly a renaissance starter. My mind divine, it take me a lot farther. Growing up, I really had beef with my father. But why bother explaining my feelings? Try harder, but either way they gon' paint you the villain. 8 months with no phone, dog, we aiming for brilliance. High level, maintaining the building.
Menu narration option is set to off.
My flow sinister. This ain't rap music, this
Menu narration option is set to off.
All your ideas miniature. They tend to hate on you when they can't get rid of you. A wise man told me that silence never betrayed him. Keep your mouth shut, cause got ultimatums. Stupid situations, the tongue often creates them. The motor mouth is usually causing mayhem. Lil' tune, flow sinister, I'm a finisher. Many men gon' need ministers, I'm a men in them. Enemies, I'm the enema. I'm a on them, just like my keys, drop my on a dinner work. My thoughts I keep confidential, it's consequential. Philosophies unidentical, I'm not into you. My Siamese brother Benjamin, that's how I stick to him. These diamond bees, all BBs, I call them Vivica. Skating underneath a bridge, stay hustling as it is. Make money, feed the kids, ain't nothing in the fridge. Wake up, repeat the sins, I need a 10, stay muddy to the lid, 800, eat it. Yeah, alright, my flow sinister. This ain't rap music, this straight literature. Small-minded, all your ideas miniature. They tend to hate on you when they can't get rid of you. I ain't going nowhere, 20-year career minimum. Call Hit Boy for beats, ask for 10 of them. I don't follow trends, I swing the pendulum. If the bag good, I'm gonna give her some. Yeah, alright, my flow sinister. Yeah, alright, my flow sinister. Yeah, alright, my flow sinister. Never lied in my rhymes, you can go ask Jennifer, that's my mom's name. I create and find change, my mind frame ensures that forever I'll reign.
It's alright, man. Cool, I be going there like deposit. You don't really brag about it when you know you got it. Real hard to read a nigga hooked on phonics. Say a lot of things and never catch like Sonic. Zone, I'm gone. When I'm in my zone and get it going Donkey Kong. They got the hand dollar, will you give a dog a bone? I'm like, oh no, you gotta get it on your own. They get an attitude, I'm like, you better check your tone. They ain't got no job, need someone to take her home. I hop up in the car, whip like Indiana Jones. Going George Lucas, now I'm out here killing clones. Coming in strong like tear down.
We are just a stone's throw away from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as we get set for football at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. Tonight, it's a good week matchup here on a Monday night between the Seattle Seahawks and the Cleveland Browns. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9? And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. First play from scrimmage. Watson going to throw it. Rifles one. That's going to be intercepted. Tariq Woolen picks it. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. So a big defensive play there on the opening drive, no less, as they make the interception and bring it back for the score.
And I think that's a signal for how this defense wants to play. They want to be disruptive, and you know they're going to take some chances.
Well, sometimes it can burn you, but right there, it paid off. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And you know, it's certainly a lot of football left to play. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're in first place in their division, looking really good and looking to be a threat come January.
And are you one of those early holiday shoppers, partner? Are you one of those guys get your list done? Because I think about what every team has on their holiday shopping list right now. What's the number one goal? Make the playoffs. Number two, win your division. Number three, and I think the biggest goal of all, try to get the number one seed so you get that first round bye and ensure you don't have to go anywhere in January and hopefully get to the Super Bowl that way.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. Watson to throw on 3rd and 1. And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch. And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Watson. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. The Browns at 6-1 now through 7 weeks of the season. And they come in on a pretty good roll here. Winners of 3 straight.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Back to the air, Watson on 2nd down. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Jordan Brooks with it. And the Seahawks are going to take possession of the football. He's on quite the interception run. He had 2 last week. Another one here. Remember, he's not a DB. He's a linebacker.
But how many of those linebackers started as DBs and pumped themselves up into being linebackers? So the ball skills are the same, right? The coverage skills and responsibilities are the same. And he is paying it off in a big, big way.
After the interception, here's Jackson. He finds his man, complete. It's Fields. And they'll work this down inside the 30. Well, this defense for the Browns, they were excellent a week ago in the victory over Arizona.
And the big difference in the ball game, their ability to force turnovers. 3 of them, in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, that's something that's emphasized each and every week, and they carried it out.
And they'll run. It's Ken Walker. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Lamar Jackson, his 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Seahawks go up by 2 touchdowns. The point after is good. And that'll make the score 14-0. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. The Browns drive about to get started. And job 1 here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath, first do no harm. And right now they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. An excellent way to start the drive there. 18 yards from all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. Now Watson. And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. And the Seahawks are going to take possession of the football. Well, I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you've thrown this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. If this defense wants to stay in this ball game, they've got to start ending some drives. That helps.
And they have to look ahead at what they expect the offense to do. And right now with that lead, that's run the football. So you don't just stack the line of scrimmage. You have to get upfield and try and make some plays in their backfield.
He finds his man complete. It's Fields. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33. That was a lightning fast decision that time. He just caught it and got rid of it.
Because he saw his guy was going to be open immediately. So he took the run out of the play. He took the option out of the play, and immediately got to the pass.
Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. On 3rd down, here's Walker. And some room to work. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Kenneth Walker, his 8th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks take a 3-touchdown lead. Now the try here for the extra point. It's good, and before you know it, it's 21-0. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. The Cleveland offense ready to go. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit, and if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
Darrell Taylor got in there to drop him. Not the start to this one that any quarterback would want or envision. Remember, he had the pick 6, and here he ends up on his backside.
And you have to wonder to yourself, okay, after throwing the pick 6, did he get too careful with the football and not deliver downfield and take that sack? They've got to make sure that he's really into this game.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Kobe Bryant. And the Seahawks are going to get the football there as he gets this up to the 38-yard line. Well, CD, you know, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the other uniform. With 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked him off.
Yeah, instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him, throwing the football, while we look at the defense, they came in prepared, had excellent game plan, well scouted, and they're taking it away at almost every turn.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there at holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
46 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Walker with another carry. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Walker now on 1st and 10. Solid running on the carry, but still brought down just inside the 40. There to make the tackle, Khalil Mack. (21-0) our score after one. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. And now Jackson will look to throw it. Escaping the pressure right. And they'll work this down inside the 30.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Up the middle, here's Walker. And he's able to work his way down inside the red zone to the 19-yard line. 10 yards and a Seattle first down.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless.
This stuff lagging.
Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Back to Walker on 1st down. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Here's Walker. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Definitely an important sequence here for this defense. They've had their share of struggles in this first half. They just cannot afford to give up another touchdown here.
They've been in the red zone 3 times in this game and have not scored a single point. Can they break through here on 2nd and goal? On 2nd down, it's Walker. And he'll work his way closer to the goal line as he's got 5 down to the 3.
And a nice job defensively to keep him out of the end zone. He's trying to get his 2nd touchdown already in the first half.
They had that one earlier, was bidding for a 2nd. A chance to really put this game out of reach. Here's 3rd and goal. And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And not going to be able to push this forward. He runs into a wall right at the line of scrimmage. So out now is the Seattle field goal team. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And his kick here is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx it.
Now this will be a return from deep in the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Browns drive about to get started. Now they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Flush to his right. And that throw behind his man, he missed him, incomplete. I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, They've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having
And now here's another interception. Picked off by Jamal Adams. And the Seahawks are going to take possession of the football. I'm starting to wonder, Charles, if 5 interceptions, is that the last that we've seen of him?
Well, I think that a lot of people hope that's the last they've seen of him in this game, probably including himself. If this were baseball, the manager would have been at the mound already and asked for the ball, and he'd be in there getting a shower. But in football, you might have to go stand on the sideline and watch the rest of it and see if your backup can do any better.
Up the middle they run. It's Walker. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
This defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall themselves. Still want to move at a nice pace.
Sticking with Walker on second down. 95 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
I think we can safely say that those types of players are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
On the counter, it's Walker. And he won't get close. Only a yard, 4th and 3.
But this was just simply excellent defense. On this third down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
So out now is the Seattle field goal team. On the right hash, officially this will be a 51-yard attempt. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. On 4th down, Matt Ariza sent on to punt. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line. The Cleveland offense ready to go. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass, and finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it.
And my goodness, another interception. Tariq Woolen picks it, and the Seahawks are going to take possession of the football. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. It giveth and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the second quarter.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Sticking with Walker on second down. He will push his way down to about the 14. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
He's going to be a yard short. Needed 2, but only got 1. 4th down.
Let's give credit to the defense. They got plenty of bodies to the point of attack and stuffed the run. But I just wonder if the offensive line let down a little bit, knowing that the big guy was getting the ball, and they just expected him to pick up a first.
And his kick is good. And the lead increases even further. It's 27-0 now. So the fumble recovery had them set up in ideal field position, but they can muster only 3 points out of it.
Yeah, when you're able to force turnovers, especially when it results in field position like they had, you really want to make it hurt. Here, they take the field goal. That's definitely not what they were hoping for.
The Browns drive about to get started. Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Dancing to his left. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down.
Well, this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting it once, you get first half scores just like this one.
They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the 1st down. He's got his receiver, Cooper. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. On 1st and 10, Watson. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
And he comes back with one complete. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. 14 yards that time for number 14. So even though it's 1st down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. York able to send this one through, and that will cut the lead down to 3 scores at 24. Well, still trailing here, but they do get the late field goal. Now their defense will try to keep this score right where it is heading into the locker room.
Yeah, and trailing at the break, you obviously don't want to go in off of a negative play. Give them credit for that one. Finding a way to put points on the board. Give them any type of a spark, anything to build off of as they try and plan a comeback.
And they'll run the option to start the drive. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. This is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They'll start out here with the option left. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The second quarter starts off with a bang as they snag over 30 yards. So this play, until recently, only something you'd probably expect to see in a college game, but running quarterbacks are certainly in vogue, and this turned into a big play.
And you and I both know that for a long time, coaches worried about their quarterbacks taking too much punishment, running plays like this, and they still worry about it. But when you can break up big chunks of yardage like that, it's worth the risk. Plus, you're coaching that quarterback to see those guys coming and get down before the big hit occurs.
From the gun, it's Walker. And he's got some space here. And he will be taken down, but not before he gets this to the Browns' 19-yard line. 138 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Again, it's Walker. And just a couple yards there down to the 17. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. Straight ahead, Walker. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. A good gain there on 3rd and 8 of 7 yards, and now a decision here on 4th and 1. So out now is the Seattle field goal team. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And his kick is indeed good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, they picked up right where they left off in the first half. First drive after the break, they come away with 3 and increase that lead.
Yeah, and you just want to keep building on that lead, don't you? Whether 6 points or 3 points, take everything you can get, keep maneuvering, keep adding to it, keep making it difficult for them to come back.
And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late. It wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one. You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
So now 3rd and 10. They had the big play to start the drive, but 2 incompletions since. Again, it's Watson. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Kobe Bryant. And the Seahawks are going to take possession of the football. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there. Still in the 3rd quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day, but they're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays. Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but yeah, from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line. Give him 8 yards on the carry, and that's going to bring up 4th down.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
And this one is no good. He missed it.
Always disappointing when you miss a field goal, but when you're playing against a defense this good, you and I both know that's a crucial miss because you can't afford to leave any points out there. You've got to take them when you can.
The Browns drive about to get started.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score...
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Quandre Diggs.
And the Seahawks are going to take possession of the football.
Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
That really sets him back. A loss of 6. Tough spot looking at 2nd and 16 here after the big loss.
Jackson running again.
And this Browns defense coming to life. They get him behind the line for a second straight play. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long.
To the right side, this is Walker.
Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. It'll be a gain of 12, but it will also lead to 4th down.
This offense really put themselves in a tough spot on 1st and 2nd down, needing long yardage to try and pick up a 1st down, and they ended up getting a great run. Explosive, picked up nice yardage. You don't expect to be in this situation on 4th down, but guess what? It all started with what happened on 1st and 2nd down. Really put them behind the 8 ball.
The Seahawks send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 15-yard line. That'll go for only 17 yards on the punt. And the Browns will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The Cleveland offense ready to go.
It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
He's going to rifle one deep left side. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Well, we saw that he had a lot of success last week throwing the football, but that hasn't translated to this week. But with his team behind, I don't expect him to back off. I expect him to keep firing.
Third quarter on a Monday night with a 2nd and 10 coming up. Watson. And that's going to be caught by Peoples-Jones. Finding room at midfield. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Watson now to throw. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
And with this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a first down.
Well, we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants his lead to stay right where it is.
Eluding the pressure right. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's second down.
I'm not quite sure what he thought he saw there, but the reality was certainly a much different picture than what he anticipated. And give credit to the defense. They were down on a flash when he broke out of there, and they forced him out with almost nothing to show for his efforts.
Looking to throw again on second down. Watson.
That's complete to Peoples-Jones.
And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. Quick throw completed by Watson. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4.
They get Jack Conklin there, the right tackle.
A terrible spot for a holding call as he'll try again, but now from further back on first and goal. Here's Watson. Quick hitter here, it's complete. They make a good bit of that yardage back as they're set up in much better shape now for second and goal.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Now Watson on third and goal. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Desperation time. Watson on fourth down. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Peoples-Jones. A 2-yard touchdown drive. And the Browns are finally into the end zone here in this fourth quarter. Now Cade York for the extra point. And the lead is down to 20. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Well, the win for them at this point seems pretty assured. I mean, still a decent amount of time left here in the fourth quarter, Charles, but you got the football, you're up 3 scores. They have to be feeling really good about where they're at.
I love your observation skills, partner, because I think you saw them charge onto the field fired up about another chance to get into the end zone. Looks to me like this group is ready to crush any hope left on the opposing sideline, and they want to do it with some gusto, too.
The run only got a yard. Here's second and 9. Just a little too lackadaisical, Charles, and they didn't get up and snap the ball in time. Delay of game.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if he understood where the clock was located. In different stadiums, it's in different places. You have to check that in pregame and make sure you're aware so you don't run into penalties like these.
Sticking with Walker on second down. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Boy, 175 yards rushing for him here as he starts to draw closer to a 1,000-yard campaign.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Losing 4 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
Considering they've seen him have some big gains against him throughout this game, that's got to feel like a measure of revenge as they trap him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is set away. Nowhere to go that time. It's a 46-yard punt with a loss on the return. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. Remember, they have won 3 straight, but getting to 4 straight does not appear to be in the cards as they are in a big 4th quarter hole. Watson on 1st down. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he gets it here to right around the 24 before he's out of bounds. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that'll make it 2nd down. Here's Watson. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And now that sets up 3rd and 2. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. 3rd and 2, Watson. He'll find Bryant, his tight end. It's complete. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. That's good for a Cleveland 1st down, an 11-yard pickup. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense the next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
On 2nd and 7, Watson. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40. Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th. But a nice 1st down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution. Even though the scoreboard is going against you, you want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
On 1st down, it's Watson. Flushed out right. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down. Throwing again on 2nd and 10, Watson. Now, quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on 3rd down. To throw is Watson. And that's incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
And he's going to pick up the Browns' 1st down. It's a gain of 12 on 4th. But no reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. So a big play there on 4th, and now 1st and 10 at the 30. And they'll indeed take a knee. And they will take a knee here. And they take a knee. So the victory here for Seattle. And it was a game where they were off and running in the first quarter, Charles, and never looked back.
You know, partner, after a while, we always say the same thing, don't we? They set the tone early, right? They started fast. So I asked a few of my horse racing friends, do you have a term for me that we can use to cover that? And they said, yeah. When a horse breaks out like that, you say he caught a flyer out of the gate. And that's exactly what this team did today. I mean, they jumped out there, jumped on them, and were never headed.
So for the Seahawks, that's now 5 wins on the campaign as they get the job done here. And they'll get another road test next week as they have to go to Santa Clara to take on the 49ers. Meanwhile,